Most expensive paintings in the world. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we want to show you top 3 of the most expensive paintings in the world. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Let's see it together. Number 1. Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. Salvator Mundi is a painting that depicts Jesus Christ as the Savior of the world, holding a crystal orb in his left hand and making a blessing gesture with his right hand. The title means Savior of the world in Latin. The painting is attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, the famous Italian Renaissance artist, inventor, and scientist. However, some experts have disputed this attribution, arguing that the painting may have been done by one of his assistants or followers, or that Leonardo only contributed some parts of it. The painting has been extensively restored and overpainted, which makes it difficult to assess its original quality and style. The painting was probably commissioned around 1500 by King Louis VII of France, who had conquered Milan and Genoa in the Second Italian War. Leonardo himself moved from Milan to Florence in 1500. The painting was influenced by earlier depictions of Christ as Salvator Mundi by artists such as Jan van Eyck and Albrecht Dürer. The painting has a long and mysterious history. It disappeared from records between 1763 and 1900, when it was bought by Sir Charles Robinson as a work by Bernardino Luini, a follower of Leonardo. It then appeared at a Sotheby's auction in England in 1958, where it sold for £45, about $125 at the time. It was then acquired by 2 American art dealers, Robert Simon and Alex Parrish, in 2005 from a small auction in New Orleans. They did not recognize it as a Leonardo at first, but they took it to a renowned art restorer, Diane Modestini, who reconstructed the damaged wood panel and removed the overpainting. During the restoration process, they became convinced that the painting was by Leonardo. The painting was subjected to years of research and analysis before it was included as a lost original in a major exhibition of Leonardo's work at the National Gallery in London in 2011 to 2012. The exhibition attracted millions of visitors and sparked a debate among scholars and critics about the painting's authenticity and value. The painting was sold at auction for $450.3 million on November 15, 2017 by Christie's in New York, setting a new record for the most expensive painting ever sold at public auction. The buyer was Prince Badr bin Abdullah Al Saud, who allegedly made the purchase on behalf of Abu Dhabi's Department of Culture and Tourism for the Louvre, Abu Dhabi. However, it was later reported that he was a stand-in bidder for his close ally, the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The painting has not been publicly exhibited since the 2017 Christie's auction, and since late 2020 has been in storage in Saudi Arabia, reportedly awaiting a museum and cultural center to be completed in Al Ula. Number 2. Interchange by Willem de Kooning. Interchange is an abstract expressionist oil painting on canvas by Willem de Kooning, a Dutch-American painter who was one of the early artists of the abstract expressionism movement, the first American modern art movement. The painting measures 200.7 by 175.3 centimeters and was completed in 1955. The painting marked the transition of the subjects of de Kooning's paintings from women to abstract urban landscapes. It reflects a transition in de Kooning's painting technique due to the influence of artists Franz Klein, who inspired de Kooning to paint with quickly made gestural marks as opposed to violent brush strokes. The painting features a fleshy pink mass at its center, representing a seated woman. The painting was named after the neighborhood where de Kooning lived at that time in New York City, which was undergoing rapid changes and development. The painting captures the dynamism and complexity of the cityscape as well as the artist's emotional response to it. The painting has a long and fascinating history of ownership and value. It was originally sold by the artist in 1955 for $4,000 to architect Edgar Kaufman Jr., whose father owned Kaufman's department store in Pittsburgh. Kaufman's estate sold the painting at Sotheby's in New York in 1989 for $20.7 million, setting a then record price for a living artist. The painting was then acquired by Japanese art dealer Shigeki Kameyama, who later sold it to American media mogul David Geffen. In 2015, Geffen sold the painting to billionaire investor Kenneth C. Griffin for $300 million, making it the second most expensive painting ever sold, only surpassed by Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, which sold for $450.3 million in 2017. The painting has been on loan at various museums and galleries around the world, such as the Art Institute of Chicago and the Northern Museum of Art. It is currently displayed at the Art Institute of Chicago. Number 3. The Card Players by Paul Cézanne. The Card Players is a series of oil paintings by the French post-impressionist artist Paul Cézanne. Painted during Cézanne's final period in the early 1890s, there are 5 paintings in the series. The versions vary in size, the number of players, and the setting in which the game takes place. The paintings depict Provençal peasants immersed in their pipes and playing cards. The subjects, all male, are displayed as studious and concentrated without any drama or emotion. Cézanne adapted a motif from 17th century Dutch and French genre painting, which often depicted card games with rowdy, drunken gamblers in taverns, and replaced them with stone-faced tradesmen in a more simplified setting. The models for the paintings were local farmhands, some of whom worked on the Cézanne family estate, the Jas de Buffon. Cézanne also completed numerous drawings and studies in preparation for the series. He was influenced by earlier depictions of Christ as Salvator Mundi by artists such as Jan van Eyck and Albert Dürer, as well as by the paintings of the Lenain brothers, who portrayed scenes of peasant life in a realistic and dignified manner. The paintings are considered by critics to be a cornerstone of Cézanne's art during the early to mid-1890s period, as well as a prelude to his final years, when he painted some of his most acclaimed work. The paintings have been admired for their composition, color, and form, as well as for their representation of human character and psychology. They have also been seen as a reflection of Cézanne's own isolation and detachment from society. The paintings have a long and fascinating history of ownership and value. One version of the Card Players was sold in 2011 to the royal family of Qatar for a price estimated at $250 million, $325.2 million today, signifying a new mark for highest ever price for a painting, not surpassed until November 2017. The other versions are housed at different museums throughout the world, such as the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, the Courtauld Gallery in London, and the Barnes Foundation in Philadelphia.